Good day, everyone, and you are once again welcome to Justified Tutors Academy. So, yes, my name is Justified, and I'm the CEO of this wonderful academy. So, yes, another episode of what on Justified series. Today, we're going to be taking the part 2 of the Waec math theory questions, right? Last week we took 5 questions, or the last time we took 5 questions. This time we are taking 7 questions, and then this time, I am going to be drawing out my 7 questions from what? From the Waec Mathematics past question 2025. Are you getting me? So you can just open it there and follow me carefully. So now, without wasting much time, let me just say this, please. After you watch this video, always do what to share to your friends so they can watch as well. Do you get me? And then always comment. So you comment the part I don't understand. And if you understand, comment I understand, sir. Thank you so much. And also, if you want to reach out to me on WhatsApp, my number is below. You will see it there. So you text me on WhatsApp for anything you need. Are you getting me? And then, last but not the least, ensure to always practice questions after this. So you get. And if you need the list of topics that always come out in WAEC every year, check part 1. I will tag it to this video. All right. So now let's begin. Without wasting much time, question 1. Question 1A. So in WAEC, like I said last week, there is usually a total of 13 questions. The first 5 questions are usually compulsory, and then the remaining 7 you have to answer 7 or 8. You have to answer 5 from them, any 5 from them, and they're usually complex. Are you getting me? So now I'll be taking 5 questions from 25, and then 2 from the part B. So let's begin. The part A says, given that the universal so it will be displayed on your screen. Given that the universal set U is equal to, so the universal set U is equal to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. These are universal sets. They now said P is equal to what? Is equal to 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. That's our P. And then let me see if my blue marker is working. I'm coming, guys. So now, and then Q is equal to what? Q is equal to 2, 3, 6, 9. Right? So now the next thing you show that what? Show that P union Q intersection is equal to what? Oh God, it's not working. But let me find it first. Let's see. P union Q is equal to what? Oh, it's not working. All right, so let's go back to the red marker. P union Q is equal to what? Is equal to P intersection. Sorry, P complement intersection Q complement. So now, given that what? This is equal to this is equal to this, and then this is equal to this. Show that what? This union this complement is equal to what? P complement intersection what? Q complement. So now what do we do? First of all, we find what? P complement, and we find what? Q complement. And I said the last time that what? P complement or anything complement simply means that what? What is here that is not here? What is in the universal set that is not in P? That's what P complements mean. You get. So P complement is equal to what? So what is here that is not here? 3 is here, 3 is not here. So therefore, that's 3. Then 5, then 7, then 8, 9. So 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's P complement. Now Q complement will be what? Q complement will be what? Will be 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. That's it. That's Q complement. So now, to show this, first of all, find P union Q, then complements before we do this one. Or no, since we already know our P and we can just find the P intersection Q. So I will do it here. So now, P P complement intersection Q complement. What will it give us? P complement intersection Q complement. What will it give us? Now, look at it. What this means is that what is common in both of them? What is common in both of them? And what is that? We have 5 here, we have 5 here. We have 7 here, we have 7 here. We have 8 here, we have 8 here. So therefore, the answer is what? Is 5, 7, 8. Right? Right? 5, 7, 8. Yes. Now, this one now, P union Q complement. What this simply means that what is write out everything that is in both of them. So you get without repeating any numbers. So 1 is here. So P union Q, P union Q is equal to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. So now, these are P union Q. So, they now said P union Q complement. That means the complement of this is equal to what? Is equal to this. So now, what is the complement of what? Of this. Remember, what does complement mean? It means that what? What is here that is not in the what? In the stuff. So now, P union Q complement is not equal to what? So there is 1 here, there is 1 here. Not it. There is 2 here, there is 2 here. Not it. There is 3 here, there is 3 here. Not it. There's 4 here, there's 4 here. Not it. 5 is here, but it's not here. So therefore, 5 is the first one. 6 is here, 6 is here. Not it. 7 is here, but it's not here. Okay? A2 is there. So now, the answer is now what? 5, 7, 8. Now, let's now compare. Is this one truly equal to this one? Yes. You can see now, we've already proved it. But now, how to now end it is like this. How to end it is like this. I'll write it here. Let me clean that part off. So let me write it here. Please, write all this now in your book. So let me write it here. So, you now write, therefore, P union Q complement is equal to P complement intersection Q complement. That's how you end it. Yes. Because of you can see it, they are what? Equal to each other. That's how you end it. Are you getting me? Simple as ABC. Now, let's quickly move towards to question 1B. You guys should follow me what? Very carefully. All right. Rubbing this off, let's take question 1B. Now, question 1B says, factorize px minus 2qx minus 4qy plus 2py. They say make you factorize. Are you getting me? The question is asking you to what? To factorize. So now, we are going to be what? To be factorizing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take question 1B. All right. Let me write the question on the board first. Okay. I'm coming. Okay, so we have px minus 2qx minus 4qy plus what? Plus 2py. Now, solution. How do you factorize? You have to what? Focus on the like terms. Are you getting me? Focus on the terms that are alike. So you get. Focus on the like terms now. And you focus on what? On things that have what? X and things that have Y. So now let's solve. The first thing to do when you're factorizing to what? Is to bring out the like terms. So you get. So yeah, the like one here is X, the like one here is Y. So bringing out X here, we have X is equals to what? We have X open bracket P minus 2Q. And here we have what? We have the like term to be Y, but also there is also 2 here that is common. So you get, so we'll bring out 2. So minus 2Y, right? So when you bring out minus 2Y now from this, when you bring out minus 2Y out from this now, you'll be left with what? We'll be left with what? With 2Q minus P. True or false? Because of this one originally. Let me now, so we are factorizing AB, but if you are to reverse it. Minus 2y times 2q will give us what? Minus 4q. That's why we have plus 2q here. And then minus 2y times what? Times p here will give us what? Will give us plus 2y. You see it now? That's what like this. So now, after this now, the next step is to now swap these two together. So you get, that is, we want to make this one positive and this one negative. So if you want to do that, this place we have to become plus. So you get, so like I want to multiply both sides. That is here and here by what? By a minus sign. So I'll be having what? X p minus what? 2q plus what? 2y. Then minus times minus give us what? We give us plus p. Then this one becomes what? Minus 2q. Now, we're not done yet. We're not done, but almost done. Now, you see, we've arrived there now. We've arrived at this junction. So now, what do we do now? You can now see that what? These two are alike. So when they are alike, you pick only one. So when you pick only one, you'll be left with what? With x plus what? Plus 2y. Then p minus 2q. And then this will now be your what? Your final answer. That is how you factorize. So you get. So in factorization, you pay attention to what? To the like terms only. Always. So you get. And in this part, don't get confused. Always know how you run your mathematics in this place. So now let's move straight into what? Into question number 2 without wasting much time. So now, what does question 2 say? What does question 2 say? Now, question 2 says that what? The quantity y is partly constant and partly varies inversely as the square of x. Write down the relationship. Now, you see, when you are hearing partly constant is different from what? From direct variation and what? An inverse variation. So you get. So yeah, they said that what? The quantity of y, the quantity y. So you write, so question 2a. Now, quantity y, we write y first. Is what? Is partly constant. Okay. Is partly constant to what? Is partly constant and partly varies as what? The square of x. So partly constant and partly varies. So when you hear partly constant, partly varies as the what? When you hear partly constant, you add what? This constant here. So you get. Then you add your what? Your first value. So you get. It's partly constant and what? And partly varies as the what? The square of x. That's it. This will be your what? Your expression. Are you getting me? This will be your expression. She gets as the inverse of the square of x. That's why they grab a square. She gets. So that's it. Simple as ABC. Now say that what? Write down the expression. That's 2a. This 2a. Then for 2b, now says the quantity y is partly constant and partly varies as what? And is partly constant, and then partly varies. She gets as the square of x. When x is equal to 1, so now question 2 now says when x is equal to 1 and what? And y is equal to 11. It now said find this value. Yes, no. When x is 1 and y is 11, okay? And then when x is 2 and then y is equal to 5. So we are going to be having we're going to be having what? A simultaneous equation here. So when x is 1 and y is 11, our equation is what? It's going to be 11 is equal to c plus what? Plus k 1 over what? Over 1. Right? Which then gives us what? C plus k is equal to 11 as equation 1. She gets. And for equation 2, when y is 5 and x is 2, we have what? We have 5 equals to what? C plus what? Plus k 1 over 2 square. Right? So becomes what? It becomes 1 over, that's k over 4. So we have what? C plus what? K over 4, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 5, equation 2. So now, let me now re-explain. You see, in variation, we have, I think, let me just search it first so I don't forget. Yes, we have 4 types of variation. Yes, direct variation, indirect variation, we now have joint variation, she gets, and then we now have what partial variation. Yes, let me see if I'm correct. But I know as I'm correct. Yes, types of variation. Oh no. Types of variation in maths, I beg. Just to be correct about that. So we have direct variation, indirect variation, she gets partial variation, and then what? And then joint variation. Are you together? So now in joint, now this one now is a question under what? Under partial variation, in the sense that when you are asked the question, they will always use what? Partly. So here now we're told that what? Y is partly what? Is partly constant. That means when you hear y is partly constant, that means that what? Y is equal to a constant. She get. So the question says here that what? The question says here that what? Y is partly constant, yes, and partly varies. Y is partly constant, one. Let me even write it here, safe. Be like this. Y is partly what? Constant, and then partly varies what? As the what? As the inverse, and partly varies inversely. Now, partly varies what? Inversely as the square of x. That is it here. That is it. So now when you want to add your what? Your constant k, you add it what? To this particular aspect. You get it now. So now let's now where c and k are what? Are constant. So now that's how we go here. I believe you are following me now. So now you now solve this simultaneously. This one here, I will not solve anything for you guys simultaneously. You by yourself, you just use your calculator. You solve by yourself, because this one is one of the most simplest thing in mathematics you get. So, but then write down the answer. C is equal to what? Is equal to 3, and what? K is equal to what? Is equal to K is equal to what? Is equal to 8. Yes, this is mathematics. I don't want to be. This is simultaneous equation. Very simple. You should be able to solve by now. So I will just keep it. I'm focused more on the what? On the difficult aspects. So now question 2b now. Still on question 2b, we are not told that what? We should find the value of y when x is 4. So now that we have our c is equals to 3 and k is equals to 8, we write out the relationship again. She gets. So now putting these two inside here, y is equal to what? Is equal to, what's our c? Our c is 3 plus what? 8, 1 over what? X squared. So now this is the what? Is the relationship. She gets. This is the relationship of c and k. That is it. But now, question 2bii now says, so I'll clean this one off. I'll also clean this one off. So now, question 2bii now says that we should find the value of y when x is 4. So now, when x is 4, that is, if we have 4 square here, we should find y. Very simple. So now, y is equal to what? 3 plus 8, 1 over 16. Right? Because of 4 square is what? Is 16. So now 8 here 1, 8 here 2. Because of 8 times 2 is what? 8 times 2 is what? Is 16. So now 8 here 1, 8 here 2. So we're having 3 plus what? 1 over 2. And 3 plus 1 over 2. 3 plus half will give you what? Let's see. Goes to what? 3 plus what? 1 over 2. What would this give you? Maybe we won't cancel self. Cancel 1, cancel 2. Before we see. I'm already confused. Now 3 plus 1 over 2 will give us what? Will give us a value. 2 times 3 is what? Is 6. 6 plus 1 is what? Is 7. So it gives us what? 7 over 2. Simple as what? Simple as ABC. Alright, so now look, no mistakes, Sha. Yes, no mistakes. Everything is intact. Okay. Alright, so now let's now move on to the next question. Question 3 now. We are moving fast. So question 3 is very tricky. Now, question 3. This one I will try and draw it, Sha. I just put my marker is still working. So let's see. Question 3. Let's get question 3 started. Oh yeah. Question 3. Now, question 3 says, as displayed on your screen, in the diagram above, PSR and SRYZ are parallelograms. So now, I don't put the shape here for myself. Hey, come in. Let me find the shape and draw it. Okay. So let me draw what I have here first for you guys. Yes. Yes. Abi? Yes. Then we now have one to this side. We have one to this side. Right? Then we now okay, so then we now have P here, we have Q here, we have Y here, we have Z here. Marker finish. We have S here, we have R here, we have C here. Then okay, that's it. So this is guys. So they now say that what in the diagram above, PQRS, sorry, PQSR, PQSR, PQSR is a straight line. Sorry, PQSR and SRYZ is that is these two things here are what? Parallelograms. See them? You can see them. You can see them. They are what? They are parallelograms. And PQZ is a straight line. PQZ, PQYZ is, that means from here to here is a straight line. You can see. Then they now say that what? If QY is 2 centimeter, if here is 2 cm, if here is 2 cm and RS is 3 cm, find what? PZ. Find the distance from what? From here to here. Now, this question might look, hey, Jesus, how do we solve this? But it is very, very simple. And yes, I've already written some things for you guys. Now, when you are solving this question, you need to pay attention. Okay, you need to pay attention to something, which is writing out what you are to find. So now, to get your PQ, to get your distance from here to here, which is PZ, PZ is equal to what? To PQ plus what? Plus QY plus YZ. Are we together? All right, sorry for the break in transmission. So I have to get a new marker. So yes, now let's move on. So now, like I said, to find your what? Your distance from what? From P to Z, you need to what? You need to what? To find PQ, this distance, QY and YZ. And then we are already giving what? Our RS and our QY. So we know that what our RS is what? Is 3 and then our QY is what? Is 2. So now, to now find out what? Our PZ. Very, very simple. There is something in parallelogram that you need to know. There is a property there. It said that what? Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So you get opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. So now, we have a parallelogram here, B, and a parallelogram here. Now, what are the opposite sides in this parallelogram? It's very, very simple. Look at this here. Here is opposite of what? Of here. So you get, and here also is the opposite of what? Of here. So it means that what? PQ and RS are equal. So PQ is equal to what? Is equal to RS. And what? YZ is equal to what? To RS as well. I mean that what? Both of them will be what? Will be 3 centimeter. That's the meaning. Mean that what? Both of them will be 3 centimeter. And if both of them are 3 centimeter, it means that what? Our PZ will now be what? 3 plus what? 2 plus what? Plus 3. That will give us what? 8 centimeter. Let me see if I'm correct. 8 centimeter. Yes, I am very, very correct. So you need to pay attention to what? To the property of what? Parallelogram. I don't know. Okay, let me quickly give you guys properties of a parallelogram. Yes, let me see if I can get it here. Because of it is very, very important. I will have said go and check your book, but I don't trust some of you guys teachers if they will teach you they will teach you all these things on parallelogram. So you get, so now number one property of a parallelogram is that what? Opposite sides are parallel. So you get, number 2 is that what? Opposite sides are equal, and number 3 is that what? Opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. You get it now? So it's as simple as that. So now let's now move on to what's into question 4. Should you get? Let's move on to what's into question 4. Okay, no, question 3b. So this is 3a. We're going to 3b. So when we say, let's go to question what? Question 3b. So I hope you understand now. Please, that part I give you, write it down, and then please go and read your book on angles so you get and learn their parties. Because of why I can test it from any part under angles. I'm just doing my best by what? Revising questions so that your memory can be refreshed and so that anything I say in any part, you can easily go and what? Open your book and revise it. So you get. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to expose you to the exact thing that come out the exam. No, I'm just trying to revise here with you. Are we together? So now let's move on. Okay, let's move on very quickly. So now question 3b now says P and Q are two towns on the Earth's surface on latitude of 56 degree Newton. Their longitudes are 25 degree east and 95 degree east respectively. Find the distance between PQ along their parallel of latitude correct to the what? Nearest kilometer. So now we are dealing with what? The distance. We are told to find what? The distance along their parallel of latitude. Now before I solve this question, I would like us to what? Write down the key formulas used in what? In longitudes and latitudes, right? Because of you need to know them before we got you can solve questions on them. So now the first formula is distance between two places in a longitude. Now, the distance between two places on the same longitude. Listen, distance between two places on the same longitude. The formula is given as what? The formula is given as The formula is given as change in the latitude times what? Your arrow. Should you get? In other words, you can say what? Your arrow times theta. Should you get? So theta is what? Is the change in latitude. Now, the next one is the formula for what? Difference in latitude. Now, the formula for difference in latitude, that is change in latitude, is what? Is latitude 2 minus what? Latitude 1. That is the bigger latitude minus what? The smaller latitude. The next formula is what? Is the distance between two places on the same. No, like I'll come back to that one. The next formula is what? Is the difference in longitude. Now, the difference in what? In your longitude, should you get, is given as what? Your longitude 2 minus what? Your longitude 1. Are you getting me? And then the next one is what? Is okay, so let me quickly leave that side. Now, let's now go to the next part of the formula. Now, when you are now asked to find what? The radius of a parallel of latitude. The radius of the parallel of latitude, which is arrow, is equal to what? Is equal to a small arrow. The radius is small arrow is equal to what? Is equal to big arrow what? Cos theta. Are you getting me? Your big arrow cos theta. That's the formula for what? Radius of a parallel of latitude. Now the next one, where this arrow most times they will give you, but if they don't give you, let me use my other marker to write it. If they did not give you, it is what? It is where your R is equal to what? 6,400 kilometer. Now, the next one is what? Is the distance along the great circle. The distance along the great circle is given as what? The distance along the great circle. And okay, now listen carefully. The distance along the great circle is also known as what? Along the lines of longitude or the equator. The distance along the great circle is also known as what? Along lines of longitude or the equator. That formula is given as what? Your D is equal to what? Theta over 360 times 2 pi big R. Are you getting me? Where your big R is what? Is this. Now, where your theta, where your theta is what? Is the angular difference between the two. I mean, this is your theta here. So you get this to be your theta. Now, yes. Now, the next one is now what? Is now distance in nautical miles. Now, the distance in nautical miles along, let me divide this safe. So this one, write it down. Let me rub it off. Because I'll be dividing the board now. Yes. Yes, thank you. So now, the distance in nautical miles along great circle is given as this. Your D is equal to what? Is equal to 60 times what? Times theta. Are you getting me? That's it. theta nautical miles. And then along the small circle, the formula is given as what? As your d is equal to what? 60 times alpha cos theta. Are you getting me? 60 times alpha cos theta. Now the next one is your speed formula, which you all know. And yes, I skipped one part. The distance along the small circle. Remember, this one is the distance along the big circle. Now the formula for the distance along the small circle, which is also known as what? Along the lines of what? Of latitude. So you get, is given as what? Your d is equal to what? Your alpha over 360 times 2 pi small r. That's the formula there. So you get, this is the formula for what? For the distance along the small circle, which is the same thing as what? Saying along the lines of the latitude. Now, distance is equal, now that's the formula there. D is equal to what? That where your small r is equal to what? Is equal to this. So we can rewrite this formula to be, now I will now use red marker to write it. I'm coming. So this one now, we can write as what? As saying our d is equal to what? Our alpha over 360 times what? 2 pi r cos theta. Now, where our alpha here is the difference between what? The two longitudes. Are you getting me? Where our alpha here is the difference between the two what? The two longitudes that you'll be given, right? Or if they are in the same plane, it will be difference. If they are not in the same plane, it will be what? Addition. Now, that will be this one. And this your theta here is the what? Is the latitude you are given. Now, let's now go back into what? Into question number 3b. So everybody write this down. We'll be using some formulas here. So that's it. So now let's move on. Let me rub it off. Okay. So now let me move back. Okay, let me write with my, let me keep one in my pocket first. Okay, so now question 3b now says P and Q are two towns on the same earth surface on latitude what? On latitude 56 degree Newton. So we are giving our latitude here to be what? Our latitude to be what? To be 56 degree north. Right? And the next one, their longitudes are 25 degree east and 95 degree east. So this is latitude. Now our longitude, I would like us to call them what? Alphas. So we are giving our alpha 2 to be what? To be, sorry, alpha 1 first to be what? To be 25 degree east, and what? Alpha 2 to be what? To be 95 degree east. Are you getting me now? You can see it. Now, they now said next, find the distance PQ along their parallel of latitude. Now, they are now saying you find the distance between what? PQ along the parallel latitude. And then, what did I tell you is the formula you use when you are told to find what? The lines of latitude. Because the same thing. Lines of latitude, distance of latitude. Abi? Lines of latitude and what? Along their parallel latitude is the same thing. So you get, what's the formula? The formula is what? The formula is going to, that use what? It will be what? Your D is equal to what? Your alpha, that is your change in alpha over what? 360 times what? Your 2 pi big R cos theta. Right? Now, black marker now. So, this formula we're using. Now, without wasting much time, we were told that our big R is 6,400. Right? So, I'll write it here. Big R is what? 6,400. And they said that what? Our pi is what? Is equal to what? 22/7. So now, we have R, we have theta. Now, sorry. Let's now find the remaining things. We've gotten our pi, we know our R, but we don't know our what? Change in alpha and our theta. Right? So now, in this question now, your theta, like I said before in formula, your theta here is what? Is the latitude given. Do you get it now? Is the what? Latitude given. Now, how about this one? This one is the what? Is the formula I gave you guys earlier under what? Under distance between two places on what? On the same latitude. So you get under distances between two places what on the same latitude. This formula you use, she gets. Now, because of they are on the same plane, that is why what we'll be subtracting. If this one was in the east and this one was in the west, we'll add them. So now to get our change in alpha now, it will be what? Our change in alpha will be what? Will be 95 minus what? 25. Which gives us what? 70 degree east. Now we've gotten our what? Change in alpha. And we now have what? Our theta. Now let's solve. So here now, D will now be equals to what? Will now be equals to 70 over what? Over 360 times 2 pi 6,400 times what? Cos 56. Now everybody in your calculator press this. Press this. Now I want you to press this word very, very carefully. So press this, guys, in your calculator. Press it, press it, press it. Let me quickly just skip to the okay. Let me even press it to my calculator self. So let me tell you how, let me even teach you how to press this calculator. The first thing you do is you find this place, 70 over 360. So you get that's 70 divided by 360. That'll give us what? 0.194. 0.194. Or 4 for anyone. Times what? Your 2 pi 6, she gets, you multiply this one. So what's our 2 times 22 over 7? Because we're told that what? Pi is what? It's 22 over 7. So 2 times what? 2 times your 22 over 7. I'm coming. Times 2 times 6,400. That'll give us what? 40,212. 40,212, comma 39. Sorry, 40,212.39. Then what is cos 56? Cos 56 will give us what? 0.5592 times what? 0.5592. Right? Yes. Thank you. Now you will now multiply everything together now. So 0.1944 times 40,212.39 times 0.5592. It gives us what? 4371.42. 4371.42. Now, this is what in kilometers. Yes, in kilometers. Now, we are not done yet. The question said, come in, oh, stay with me. The question said that we should find the what? We should find it what? To the nearest, to the what? To the nearest kilometer. So we have to what? What's called it? We have to approximate to what? The nearest kilometer. And this will give us what? 4371 kilometer. Now, the reason why I'm getting 4371 and then you guys will get what? 4374 is because of if it's that, in fact, if it's that you press it direct in calculator, you will get this answer. In fact, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. Let's press it in our calculator. Like everything together in our calculator. Let's do that. You see what I'm saying? 70 divided by 360, close bracket, times 2 times pi, right? Times 6,400 times, yes, times cos 56. You see what I'm saying? You get, okay, it's even 4372 you get. So the answer is what? The answer is 4372. Yes, the answer is 4372. That's the answer. 4372. Hope no mistakes. Yes. So the answer is what? Is 4372. Thank you guys. So that's it. This is your final answer. If you got this answer, you got it right. So now I believe you all understand the part of longitude and latitude. Please, that formula I gave you guys, write it down because of we are still going to what make use of it as we what proceed in this class. Now let's now move on to what question 4A. All right, without wasting much time, question 4A. Question 4A now. So before my marker dies out, let me solve this one. Now question 4A. Question 4A says that a pack of 52 cards is shuffled and a card is drawn at random. Now, a pack of cards is what? Is equal to 52. So you get, so now a pack of cards, a pack of 52 playing cards is shuffled. Are you getting me? Then I said that what? A particular card is drawn at random. A particular card is drawn at random. Just any card at random. Calculate the probability that it is either a 5 or a red 9. So we have to find the probability that it is what? It is a 5. She gets or a what? Or a red 9. She gets. Now, to find this, the formula is simple. We have to first of all what? Find the probability for this, then we add them together. But then, what is the formula for probability? The formula for probability is given as what? Is given as your probability. Let me say probability of 5 is equal to what? To outcome. So you get the outcome over the total number of what? Of everything there. So you get outcome over what? Over outcome in sample. Outcome over what? The outcome in what? In the sample. So you get. For me, I would just say over the total. Do you get over the total? It's as simple as that. This is the formula here. And I want you guys to what? To take it down in your notes. Let me switch to my blue marker now. Alright, so now that is it. So now let's now go back to the question again. They said that what? A pack of 52 playing cards. They said that what? Calculate the probability of what? Calculate the probability that it is either a 5 or a 9. So to find the probability that what? It is either a 5 or a 9, the formula is given as what? This one plus this one. Simple. The probability of this plus this. But then, how do we get the probability of this? Now, how many 5 do we have in a pack of 52 cards? The hint is there. There are 4 5s. There are 4 5s. So that's probably, so that's the answer. So there are what? The probability of a 5 is what? Is equal to what? 4. Because of that's the number of what? Of 5s we have in the pack of cards. 4 5s over the total number of cards. That's over what? Over 52. Are you getting me? There are what? There are 4 5s over what? The total number of what? Of cards. Now, how about the red 9? There are what? 2 red 9s in a pack of 52 cards. So now, probability of what? Of a red 9 is going to be what? 2 over 52. So now, like I said, you add the probabilities together. So now, let's now proceed. 4 over 52 plus what? 2 over 52. What would that give us? 4 plus 2 is what? Is 6. 6 over what? 52. Now, can 6 go in 52? Everybody, your calculator, divide 6 by what? By 52. 6 divided by what? 52. You get a decimal value. So, let's do 3. Okay, cannot go. So, 2 here will give us what? 2 in 6 will give us what? Will give us 3. If I'm not mistaken, sure. We give us 3. And then 52 divided by what? 2. Give us what? We give us 26. Right? Can 3 go 26? Can 3 go 26? No, it cannot go in 26. So therefore, our final answer becomes what? 3 over 26. That's the answer. It's as simple as that. You can see. No need to be what? To be cracking your head or shaking your head up and down. So please guys, write that down. This is the answer. Alright, so now let's move on again. Question 4B. This is that where I would need everybody to what? To pay attention. She gets. I need to what? To pay maximum what? Attention. Now, let's go. Question 4B. What does it say? It says that what? PQ and R are points in the same horizontal plane. PQ and R are points in the same horizontal plane. The bearing of Q from P is 150 degree. The bearing of Q from P is 150 degree. And the bearing of R from Q is what? 0 degrees. Is 060 degree. Now, if you can remember what I said in part 1, it will help you here. Remember, I said that what? Anywhere you hear Q from P, what does it mean? It means that what? The angle is at P. If you hear R from P, it means that what? The angle is at R, but it's coming from what? The line joining what? R and P together. Now, let me show you that. Now, the first part says the bearing of Q from P is 150 degree. Now, it means that the first thing you draw is your point P. This is your point P. Yes. You draw your point P. They now said the bearing of Q from P, the angle will be at P. So it will come from here, 150 degree. You see, so like this, you draw like this. The bearing of what? So now this will be our Q. Our Q will be at this point now. But where is it coming from? From P. You see it now? At Q, but from P. The bearing of what? Of Q. The bearing of what? Of Q from point P. The bearing of what? Of Q from point P. Are you with me? Sharp. Now, what do we do next? The next thing we do here is that what? We now go to the next part of the question where they say that what? And the bearing of R from Q. The bearing of R from Q. That means the bearing of R, point R, is coming from what? From Q. So therefore, the angle will be at Q. Are you getting me? Is what? Is 60 degree. Now, where is 60 degree? It is between what? 0 and 90. So we draw this one out. But then, you have to pay attention to something here. Now, they said here that what? PQ distance is what? Is 5 kilometer. That means here is what? Is 5 km. And what? And your QR. That means the distance between Q and R is what? Is 3 kilometer. Now, what does this two mean? It means that what? This line that is 3 kilometer has to be shorter than this one. Do you get it? Because this one is 5. This one will be longer and this one will be shorter. Pay attention. So, put it there. And this is what? Point R. So the bearing of what? Of R. This is R now. The bearing of R from Q is what? Is 60 degrees. Get it now. Now we now join the two lines together. So now we join them from this point here. Bam. Odabe. Are you following me now? So now we are almost done. But please note that here is what? Is 150 degree. Yes. So if this full place is 150 degree, it means that what? Here is what? Is 30 degree. And according to what? To alternating angles, Z angles. If here is 30, your Z. Here to be what? Will be 30 sharp. And then what? Everything here will be what? Will be 90. Because 60 plus 30 is what? Is 90 degree. Are you following me? Sharp. So now, we've now gotten everything we need now in this tool. Now, let's now look at the question aspect. They now say that what? They now say that what? That find the bearing of R from P. Find the bearing of R. That means find the bearing coming from this line. So you get? Find the bearing of R. It is coming from this line, but it is going to P. So we have to find this remaining side here. So you get? That is what we have to find, this remaining side here. Now, to find our bearing of R from P, we will need the angle inside here, which is theta. So you get? When we get that angle, we will now subtract it from what? From 150. Are you getting me? So the formula is what? Is like this. R from P is equal to what? 150 degree minus theta. But now the question is, how can we find theta? We have our side, angle, side. Right? Side, angle, side. The best formula to use when you are told to find an angle in bearing is to apply what? The sine rule. But how do you even apply the sine rule here, sef? How do we apply it? Because of the formula for sine rule is given as what? A over sine A equals to what? B over sine B. Now, what and what can we use our what as our sine A and sine B? Look at here. This place that has the angle does not have a side. So, since this place does not have a side, the first thing to this what is we need to find the side. When we now find the side, we can now what? Use the formula to work out. And how do we find the side? You can see this is a right angle triangle, right? Because of what? There's 90 degree here. She gets because of all right angle triangle have what? A 90 degree. I get me. So therefore this is what? A right angle triangle. Now, what do you use? What formula do you use to find your side? It's what? It is the Pythagoras theorem, which is given as what? Hypotenuse square is equal to what? Opposite square plus what? adjacent square. Right? So now, where is our what? Hypotenuse square. This is our what? Hypotenuse square. Are you getting me? Because of this 90 degree, sorry, this is our what? Is our hypotenuse square, because of wherever the 90 degrees facing is your what? Your hypotenuse square. So I write it here. This is what? Our hypotenuse. So we are looking for this side. Automatically, this and this is one of what? Either what? The opposite or adjacent. So let's now solve. That will give us what? 5 square plus what? Plus 3 square. Gives us what? 25 plus 9. 25 plus 9 is what? Give us what? 36. Abi? Yes. And the square root of 36 will give us what? What is the square root of 36? 25 plus 9 is, it's 34. Sorry, it's 34. It's 34. And the square root now of 34 will give us what? So, the square root of 34 will give us what? 5.83095. Approximately becomes what? 5.831. That's it. So the square root, because of this is a square root here, or there have always been square roots here. So the square root of this will give us this. Now we've now gotten our side. We can now what? Find the angle here using what? The sine rule formula. So now let me rub this off. Let me rub this off. All right. So now, how do we now find this now? Our A, 5.831. Our A, 90 degree. So now, let's move on. So we have our what? Our 5.831 over sine 90 equals to what? Equals to B. What's our B? Our B was will be this side. That will be what? 3 kilometers over what? Over sine theta. Are you with me? So now, what do you do next? You what? You cross multiply. 5.831 times sine theta will give us what? Will give us 5.831 sine theta equals to what? Sine 90 times 3. Sine 90 is 1. So 1 times 3 gives us what? Give us 3. Right? Now, what do we do next? To isolate sine theta, we have to what? Divide both sides by 5.831. So we'll be having sine theta is equal to what? 3 over what? 5.831. So now we have this. What do we do next? What is 3 over? What is 3 divided by what? 5.831. That is what? 0.1449. What do you do next? You take the sine inverse. Yes, you take the sine inverse. Where's my sine inverse here? Okay. So now you take the sine inverse. So you take the sine inverse of 0.51, or take the, in your calculator, just press sine inverse of what? Of 3 divided by, so this one will go here. Theta will now go to this side. It becomes what? Sine inverse of this. 3 over what? 5.831. So that will give us what? 5 point divided by 5.831. That will give us what? 30.96 degree. So our theta will be equal to what? 30.96 degree. Right. So now I'll rub this off right now. Let me rub this off. Okay. So I'll rub it off. Now, the next thing you are going to do is you now ask yourself, we've gotten our theta. What is the next thing to do? This formula here, because of for us to find the angle, for us to find the what? The bearing of R from P, is going to be what? It's going to be 150 degree minus theta. And our theta what? Is 30.96. So 150 minus 30.96. That will give you what? That will give you sorry. So that will give you come in. 150 minus 30.96. That will give you 119.04. And the question says degrees. And the question says find the bearing of R from P correct to the nearest degree. That will be what? That will be 119 degrees. And this is your what? Your final answer. Simple as ABC. Are you with me here? So guys, this is bearing. You can see we are doing revision, and the more I solve, the more you get familiar with these questions. So my advice for you right now is for you to go and what? practice and solve more questions on what? On bearing. Are you getting me? Go and master what? Bearing. And if you don't understand, please, on group chat, right now, I'll be creating a new group chat for you guys. So if you're not there yet, message me right now to be added. Are you getting me? Message me now to be added. Thank you so much. So now, let's move to question number 5. Question 5. Question number 5A. Right? Question 5A. Now, question 5 says, everybody, look at me. Now, question 5 says, the frequency table shown on your screen shows the marks scored by what? 32 students in a test. Now, you can see the marks there, you can see the table. Question AI, Roman figure 1. Let me clean this thing. Question AI, like AI. So question AI says, find the mean of the marks. Find the mean of the marks. What do you do to find the mean of the marks? Now, here is what you do. To find the mean, your mean, also known as what your x bar, is equal to what? Summation fx over what? Summation f. Right? And it means that what? To get summation fx, you multiply your frequency times your x. What is your frequency? Your frequency is the number of students. Your x is the what? Is the mark scored. So you multiply 1 times 2, you add it with 2 times 3, the next one like that, plus what? 3 times 4 plus 4 times 4. So you get, so that's it. 1 times 2 plus what? 2 times 3, yes, plus 2 times what? 3 plus what? 3 times 4 plus what? 4 times what? 4 plus like that until you reach what? Until you reach 10 times what? 1. Are you getting me? Then you divide everything by the total number of students, which is 32. Are you getting me? So when you do that and you add everything together, you will have what? You will have your total of this one to be what? To be 167, which is what? Divided by 32. It will give you what? It will give you 5.22. That's your mean. Are you getting me? That is what is your mean. Now, the next one is what? Find your median. Find your median. Are you getting me? Find the median. Now, you see, this particular thing is very, very tricky. Now, to find the median, the middle position, you get what into this what is like it's very, very simple. Pay attention. To find the median, that is the middle number here, what you need to do is what? Is to divide, because of normally the formula for median is what? Is your nth number she gets over your nth position over 2. And in this one, the number of students was 32. So it becomes what? 32 over 2. That's what? That's 16. So your median will be in this point, it will be this point, to be at this point. So you get. So now, let me do the way you guys know it. Let me just do it for you guys the normal way. Hey, God. But I will not sleep here like this. Okay, let's do it like this. Thank God for grace. So now, please, I want to clean now. Write it down. No, write it down. We are still on number 2. Please, I beg. We are still on what? On AII, which is what? Which is median. Now, look at the table, guys. Look at the table. The first number of students is 2 plus 3 plus what? Plus 4 plus 4 plus what? Plus 4. Now, 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 4 is 13. Are you getting me? 13 plus 4 is what? Is 17. So, where does 16 fall in? 16 does not fall in here because of this one is 2. For number 1, we are having 1, 1. For this one, we are having 2, 2, 2. For this one, we are having 3, 3, 3, 3. For this one, 4, 4, 4, 4. And for this one, 5, 5, 5, 5. So the bearing falls at this point, which is the 16th number. Are you getting me? So sorry, I said the bearing. Jesus, bearing want to finish me. So the median falls on this number, which is the 16th number. And then that number is what? Is 5. Are you getting me, guys? Pay attention. So that's how you do it. Simple and short. Instead of writing it long like that, you need to what? Learn how to break it down. So yes, the median score is what? 5. Now, the next question. Mode, find the mode, Abi. Find the mode of the max. So, what is the mode of the max? Now, the mode of the max is the most people with what? The highest frequency. Look at this table. Which of the following max scored has the highest number of students? Yes. Or which of the, Abi, how will I put it? Most people with the highest frequency. That is the max with the highest number of students. Abi? Yes, the max scored with the highest number of students is what? Is the students with the highest number of marks. So you get that's what? That's so the mode here is what? Is the mode is equal to 7 because of the mode is the one with is the most people you get with the highest frequency. Your frequency are your 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So look at it there. Which one has the highest frequency? The highest frequency there is 5. And what mark does it belong to? 7. That's why mode is 7. Now, question 5b. Now, what does it say? It says, find the percentage of those students who scored at least 8 marks. Now, the percentage of students who scored at least 8 marks, are the people that went from what? From 8, 9, 10. At least. Now, when you are at least simply means at least 8 marks. At least 8 marks. That means greater than or equal to what? To 8. That's the meaning. Greater than or equal to. That means it's not less than 8. So you get that it is equal to 8, but also greater than 8. That's what we mean by what? At least 8 marks. So you get that's what that's it. So now, which of the students scored at least 8 marks? You see it as what? 8, 9, 10. That's what they mean. Greater than or equal to 8. So, and then how many students do we have there? We have 3, 2, 1. To find the percentage of those students, we have to what? Add these numbers together, divided by what? The total number of what? Of students, and multiply by what? By 100. So 3 plus 2, that is 3 plus 2 plus 1 will give us what? Will give us 6. That's 6 over what? 32 times what? 100. That will give us what? 6 in 32 give us what? Come in. Calculator very quickly. Come in. 6 divided by 32. 0.185 times 100. 18.75. So 18.75%. You see now. 5 questions done what? Easily. Alright guys, so now let's now move on to the next question, which is question number 6. Alright, before I now go into question 6, I want to quickly correct something. Remember, I said that what? I will be touching 7 questions today, but I'll be touching 6. Yes, I'll keep the 7th one for the next class because of the 7th one is on logarithms. So I'll be starting with what? All the logarithms that have come out in what? In Waec. Right, and I'll solve them all together because of yes, logarithms will surely come out in your exam. Yes, logarithms are what I need this is to come out in your exam. So guys, take note of that. So question 6a, they say that what? Given that p is equal to what? X plus y m cube. Find m in terms of what? P, x, and y. This particular question, so p is equal to what? Is equal to x plus y m cube. Find m in terms of what? Of p, x, and y. What it's going to do is what? You should just make what? Make your p the subject of what? Of the formula. That's what it's going to do. Like that is exactly what it's going to do. You should get nothing more, nothing less. So now let's make our what? Our m rather. Our m the what? The subject of what? Of the formula. So now what do you do here? Remember the instructions. Collect like terms. Look for how we can isolate these two first. Look for how we can isolate these two together. What do? You move this one to the left. So it becomes what? P minus x equal to what? Y m cube. Now we've moved it. What can we do again? We divide both sides by what? By y, because of we want to isolate only m. So dividing both sides by what? By y. Now we have what? We have here y. We have here y. We get our what? Our p minus x over y is equal to what? Is equal to what? M cube. Now, but we still have cube here. We need to what? Isolate only m because they say we find only m. So now what do? When a cube is going to the other side, it becomes what? Becomes square root. When it's becomes cube root. If it's a square that is coming to this side, it becomes what? Square root. But now we have a cube here. If your cube is going from what? From any side over the equal to sign to the other side, it becomes what? It becomes a cube root. So our m will become what? Equal to what? The cube root of what? P minus x over y. You can see. Simple. Now, this particular question is from what? Maths Waec 25 what? Theory question. That's what I'm telling you since all those topics I gave you guys will surely come outside. So learn to what? To practice them. Now, question B now. Question B. Question B. Question B is what? Is now the part I want you guys to focus on. So you get, I want you guys to focus on this part very, very well. Because of this part, I have not touched before. So you get, and it is what? A question on what? On quadratic equation. But this time around, they said that what? They said, using the method of completing the square method, find the root of the what? Of the quadratic equation. Question what? Question B. So find what? The root of what? The quadratic equation, x squared minus 6x plus 7 equals to 0. I get me to 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. Pay attention. No, that one's important to always what? Pay attention to that kind of thing. So you get to 1 decimal place. Now, what do you do? Now, guys, we want to start question on what? On completing the square method. So pay attention. All right. Pay attention. So now, what do we do here? The first thing you do in a completing square method is to what? Is to add the what? The square of half the coefficients to both sides. So the first thing you do is to what? Half this coefficient. I get me. So when you divide 6 by 2, what do you get? You get 3, right? So when you have the coefficients, you have what? 6 over 2, which is what? Which is 3. Are you getting me? Now, after halving the coefficients, what you do next is to square the coefficient. Are you getting me? You square the coefficients. Okay, sorry, I've already skipped one step. Sorry, before we do that, this 7 has to go to the left-hand side. Are you getting me? This one has to go this side. So we have here what? X squared minus 6x is equals to what? Minus 7. Yes, this is the first step. After this step, we will now half the coefficients. Are you getting me? So when we have the coefficients, we'll be left with what? We'll be left with what? With when this is half now, we'll now be left with what? With so when we have this coefficient, we square it and then we add it to what? To both sides. So we'll be having what? X squared minus 6x minus what? No, x squared minus 6x plus open bracket minus 3 squared equals to what? Minus 7 minus 3 what? Minus 7 minus 3 squared. Yes. This is square here, I beg. So that is it. Yes. So when you have the coefficients, you square it and add it to both sides. So now we've gotten here now. What do you do next? You open up this thing. So now you now write like so now guys, I beg, please pay attention. Pay attention. Now what you do here is that what? This 6x will automatically disappear. Yes, don't ask me why. It will automatically disappear. That's the rule and the method. So when this appears, it becomes what? It becomes x squared plus minus 3 what? Square is equal to what? Minus 7 plus what? Plus 9. Are you getting me now? So now we get to this point here. So now you can see that we have square here. So we can put both of them what? In a bracket. So we'll have what? X minus 3 square. Are you getting me? Yes, is equal to what? Minus 7 plus 9 is what? Is 2. Yes. So now, this is what we have. Let me come again. When you have 2 squares here, according to indices, you can always what? Bring them into what? A bracket. Because of x squared plus minus 3 square is simply as saying what? X squared, bring it out, minus 3 square. True or false? It's true. So now, what do you do next? This square now will now go to the other side and square this one. And square root it. So we'll be having what? X minus 3 is equal to what? The square root plus or minus what? 2. That is again in completing the square method. You put a plus minus sign at the front of it. Exactly. So now, after this now, what's the next step? X minus 3, we what? We plus it. Or we minus it. So you get, and that will give us what? Our roots. Now let's go. X minus 3 equals to what? Minus square root 2. Or x minus 3 is equal to what? Square root 2. Are you getting me? Let me put the plus sign here and put the minus here. Yes, so that we don't get ourselves confused. So that's it. Yes. Are you getting me now? So now, x minus 3 equals to what? Plus root 2. When 3 go here, we have what? X is equals to what? 3 plus what? Root 2. Or x is equal to what? Minus 3 minus root 2. So now, what do we do after here? We find root 2. What is the square root of 2? Everybody, what is the square root of 2? The square root of 2 is 1.412. So x is equal to what? 3 plus 1.41, abi? 1.412, or x is equal to what? Minus 3 minus what? 1.412. Are you getting me? So now, x, add this together, I beg. Add it together. What will it give you? It gives us what? 4.1, abi? Abi? Abegado, 3 plus 1.412. Let me see. 3 plus 1.41. I'm coming now. Square root of 2 plus 3. That's why it's 4.41. 4.41. Yes. Or now, they now said to the nearest one decimal place. That means just one decimal place. Move this one. So this is the answer. 4.41. Or the next is what is minus 3. So now, minus 3 minus 1.412 is what? Is minus 4.4. Sorry, you. Sorry. When minus 3 goes to this side, it becomes what? Plus. I beg. Hey! See me. So, plus 3, that's going to be what? 3 minus 1.412. That will give us what? 1.588. I get me. So this. So now, approximately, this is what? Because of one decimal place is the requirement. So this becomes what? 1.6. Oh yeah. 1.6. So that's the answer. So we've now what? We've now solved using the method of completing the square. We've now found the roots of what? Of this quadratic equation. You can see simple as ABC. But let me recap. What do you do first? Is to what? Is to collect your items. Move 7 to this side. Or any value that you see here. Normally we call this our A, our B, and our C. So we move what? We move this what? The C to the what? To the right hand side. Are you getting me? After that, we half the what? The coefficient of x. After doing the half of it, you now square it and what? Add it to both sides. Show you grab. After that, you remove what? Minus 6. This one disappears. Then you'll be left with what? Just this one. And then you can now go on and solve mathematically. Are you with me? Now, the last but not the least question is what I want you guys to what? Now focus on. This is what problem in what? Quadratic equation. You can see now we are touching almost all the topics I talked about. We are touching almost all the topics. You can see. So guys, don't joke with that topic. I beg, don't joke with it at all. Don't joke with it at all. Waec can set question from any angle. From any angle. Are you getting me? So pay attention. Don't worry, this is just part 2. Part 3 is coming. When part 3 drops, we'll do more. So now, it says, the product of two consecutive what? Of two consecutive positive odd numbers. The product of two consecutive what? Positive odd numbers is what? Is 195. The product of two consecutive what? Odd numbers, okay, is what? Is 195. So, of two so by constructing a quadratic equation and solving it, find the two numbers. So how do you solve this question? The first thing you say is that what? Is that let the what? The two consecutive positive odd numbers be what? Be n. N is 1. And what? N plus 2. So these are the two consecutive odd numbers. Now you might ask yourself, why are we using n and n plus 2? It's because of if n is equal to 1, 1 will be here. 1 plus 2 gives us what? 3. So you get. You cannot say n plus 1 because of you'll be having an even number here. So this is the right one to use. So you get. So they did not say that what? Let the two consecutive positive odd numbers be what? N and what? Sorry. Let so we said that what? Let the two consecutive number will be n and n plus 2. But then, they now said that what the product of two of them is what? Is 195. That is the product n times what? N plus 2 is equal to what? 195. They say what? Find the two numbers. Now, for us to find the two numbers, we need to find what? N first. So now, let's open up the bracket. Let me divide it. So now, n times n square. N times 2 plus 2n equals to what? 195. So, you might want to use your calculator to press. But let me just tell you, this is where we use what? The almighty formula. You might be wondering, sir, why? I will explain in another video. But today, just know that what? This is the kind of equation that you apply the almighty formula to. So now, what is the almighty formula? The almighty formula is also known as what? The quadratic formula. Now, you might be wondering, why am I calling it the almighty formula? It's because of there was a movie that was made in the past that one guy called it almighty formula. But normally, the normal name is what? Is the quadratic formula. And the formula is given as what? Is given as, I write it here, it's given as n is equal to what? Minus b plus or minus square root what? Square root b square minus 4ac over what? Over 2a. That's the what? Almighty formula. Where your n is your a, your 2 is your b, and your this is your c. So now, guys, let's solve. Are you getting me? Let's solve. So, let's use here. N is equal to what? Minus b. Our b is what? Is 2. So we have minus 2 plus or minus square root. B square is what? Is 2. So we have what? 2 square minus 4ac. What's our a? Our a is what? Is 1. Because of n on its own means that what? We have a 1 at the side. Yes, and divisible 1. So we have 1 times what? Our c is what? Is 195. Right? Divide both side by what? By 2 times a, which is 1. Are you getting me? So we have what? N is equal to what? Minus 2 plus or minus square root of what? So 4 square is what? Is 4. 2 square is what? Is 4. Minus 4 times 1 times 195. That will give us what? 4 times 1 times 195. Okay, I'm coming now. Sorry, this is meant to come to the front. I beg, I don't make mistake. This one is supposed to come to the front. So it will be what? It will be n squared plus 2n minus 195. Yes, this is it here. Sorry. It's supposed to be in a quadratic equation format. Don't mind me, Jerry. So now, this one means that what? There'll be a minus sign here. I get me. So now, so now 2 squared is what? Is 4. And what? Minus 4 times minus 4 times 1 times what? Times 195 will give us what? So minus 4 times 1 times minus 4 times 1 times, that'll give us what? 780. So that's plus 780. Now, why is it plus? It's because of minus times the minus here is plus. Are you getting me? So now all divided by what? By 2. Are you getting me? Yes. So now, after that, our n becomes what? Minus 2 plus or minus 4 plus 780 gives us what? A square root of what? Of 784 over 2. Right? So now, what is the square root of what? Of 784. The square root of 784, coming. The square root of 784 is what? Is 28. So now, coming back here, let me rub this off. So now, the square root of what? Of 784 is 2. So our n is equal to what? Minus 2 plus what? Minus 2 plus or minus what? 28 over what? Over 2. So we will write n is equal to what? Minus 2 plus 28 over 2, or n is equal to what? Minus 2 plus what? Sorry, minus 28 over 2. Now, n minus 2 plus 28 give us what? 26. So here we have 26 over 3, or what? N is equal to what? Minus 2 minus 30 equals what? Minus 30 over what? Over 2. So n will be equal to what? 26 over 3, same thing as 26 over 3. Or n is equal to what? Minus 30 over 2 is going to give us what? Minus 15. But wait, Let's go back to the question. Sorry, this over 2, not 3. See me. 26 over 2, not 3. So 26 over 2 will give us what? Will give us 13. I get me 13. So now the number for n is what? Is 13 or what? Or minus 15. So thus the two numbers are what? Either what? Sorry, is it minus 15? Come in now. Wait. Minus 2 is here now. Plus or minus over 2. And it's 15 now. Okay, sorry. So we have to end with what? A positive solution. So therefore, this will become what? This will become a plus. Yes, sorry. So that's how it becomes plus. So yes, that is how you do it. So now, without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, these are what are the two consecutive numbers. You can see them, 13 and 15. Simple as ABC. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of what of today's class. I trust you enjoyed it. You can see we covered topics under the following. Let me see if I still have my list here. So today we touched sets. We touched the formula. We touched factorization. Abi? Yes. Factorization. Did we touch we touched bearing and distance, we touched quadratic word problem, we also touched completing the square method, we touched probability, and then we touched longitude and latitude, right? So yes, that is it for now, guys. So you can see that, okay, we also touched what? Shapes. Shapes and variation. Yes, we touched variation as well. Okay? So you can see, guys, we are going really fast. And before you know it, we have touched what all topics by what part 3. And in part 4, we have what a general revision on everything. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this class. I trust you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please slide into my DM. My number will be displayed on the screen. She gets slide in and message me right now with anything. And also, if you are not in the group chat, please guys do well to message me. I get me so that you can be added in time, because of we'll be starting this weekend. I think on Saturday or Sunday. Once we start, we will not stop down to your mathematics exam. Your math exam is on the 3rd of June. I want you guys to be fully ready for that exam, because I don't want anybody to be waiting and depending on on Expo. I don't want that to happen at all this year. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, take this class very, very seriously. Pay attention, and if you don't understand, ask questions. I get me? Ask questions, and most importantly, do well to share this video with your friends. I get me? This video will really help them to revise. You can see I'm not teaching topics one by one. That will waste your time. I don't have time for that. And my job here was to revise everything with you guys. Are you getting me? That is it. My name is Justified, and I'm the CEO of Justified Tutors Academy. Are you getting me? So yes, guys, remember, read, revise, and practice. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.